one thing at a time. We are live on the YouTubes.
And I am recording.
Excellent. We're winning. Welcome, everybody, to episode 237 of the You Can't Comp This NBA Trading Card Podcast. We're your hosts, Adam, Amy, and Russell Gibson, and we're back from the Oz National.
Yeah. Hi, Adam. Hello, everyone at home. Hope you're all doing very well. How are you, Adam?
I'm digging deep at the moment. It's been a long weekend, and I am very, very tired.
The waitress offered you coffee at dinner tonight. Why didn't you just say...
Well, I'd be
yes?
very tired, and then I'd be awake and tired because I wouldn't be able to sleep. I think that would mess with my sleep pattern a little bit.
At least you'd be caffeinated, though.
But I could be even grumpier at work tomorrow. That could be bad for a lot of people at work. So
Grumpier.
Yeah. I feel like my mood was sort of it ebbed and flowed this week. I did evoke a little bit of grumpy old man, but
yeah, that's right.
All in all, I think
we made a lot of references to old men tonight, didn't we?
I felt out of touch at times throughout the weekend, but all in all, I think it was an amazing show. Shall we talk?
Yeah, so let's just get
straight into the Oz National.
Yeah.
And we've also got some interesting stuff. It's not all about the Oz National. Just going to be the first segment. Russell told me I can't use the whole episode to whinge and
initially I said
complain.
you can have 5 minutes to complain, but we're going to limit that to 15 minutes now.
I've negotiated it out.
Yeah.
It's we have some listeners that are eager to hear my tirade, I believe. They're going to be bitterly disappointed. I'm going to be incredibly diplomatic. Actually, no, I'm probably not. Let's be fair.
Oz Nationals, classic cards. It's just some market moving in the NBA at the moment. I also made a list of who's signing with Panini at the moment, so we can go through that list.
Nice.
And then just some other general NBA news to finish out the show.
Cool.
But without further ado, let's talk about the Oz Nationals. I know you've got a lot you want to get off your chest. I'm giving you the open floor. I'm just going to sit here and have a drink.
Really? I was going to, because I thought your summary would be very quick. I thought I could piggyback off your opening.
If you want me to go first, I definitely can.
Yeah, because you'll take about 30 seconds, I reckon.
So my experience was I went Sunday only. I didn't go on the Saturday. I had a very wonderful experience. I actually feel like it was very well populated in terms of the number of people that was attending it and also the number of vendors that was there. I think that if you didn't want Pokemon, there was a lot of Pokemon there. So, you can take that for however you will, but I didn't feel like it was overpowering. I felt like there was a lot of NBA there. I felt people were very willing to talk to you, and I feel like I had some really good conversations with people. I think that I'm getting better at trading with people or just having the conversation around it, and I actually just really enjoyed just taking out my cards out of my trading box and, trying to get some deals with people. I feel like I got some good deals. I feel like I did one bad deal that's my own fault, and it's not actually the vendor's fault. I'm an idiot for saying yes.
Yeah, fair.
But other than that, mate, no. Look, I had a really good time. I think we should congratulate the guys for their organization of it, and
most certainly.
I think Connor has done a fantastic job. And I think that they're very self-effacing, and they were very much like sort of deflecting the compliments that I was trying to give them tonight. But honestly, I really hope that they feel proud of themselves and just feel a great sense of achievement of what they've pulled off. Because
certainly, yeah.
So that's
Huge
it
show.
for me. I'm done.
That is it. Okay.
I'm putting my mic on mute. I'm going to let you just unload. Okay, I'll be back in 10 minutes.
Oh goodness gracious! I might need you to bounce some things off, but.
Of course.
I'm not going to go and fully lose the plot. I went on the Saturday, and I didn't go in a podcasting capacity. I actually took my partner for her first card show. The children were going to come along, but they had other plans, so it was just the two of us. And I'm kind of glad that was the experience, because I think after 2 hours,
wrangling kids is another degree of difficulty again.
Well, it was just the two of us, and it was as I said, it was her first card show, and I don't think it was a great first impression. It was wall-to-wall people. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not complaining about there being lots of people. I think it's fantastic. This show sold out,
Yeah.
and it's a credit to the organisers, as you've said. However, the patrons, I feel like there needs to be a little bit of a mental adjustment to being at a card show when there are lots of people. Coming in with backpacks that are a foot, like, deep into bumper-to-bumper crowds, expecting to take over tables. Yep. And it's like, just know the environment you're in and have respect and courtesy for the other people in the area. There were people sort of trying to set up over the top of cabinets and force their way into dealing with vendors. I'm going to shout out Cherry because I think the way they had their operation set up, and let me be very clear, they're smooth operators because they've done it for years, but they very much have a very clear product section.
And they've also invested in a lot of table space too. So
correct. But they've got the product space, they have their cabinets, and then they have a section where they're buying. And that's where the deals get done, right? There's no areas overlapping, and while it was 3 people deep, at least you knew where you needed to be patient and wait.
Yeah.
And there was a little bit of organisation there. I can't say the same for some of the other vendors deeper into the section. And you're right. You're very right. It's due to the amount of space. It's very limiting if you've only got a couple of tables.
Yeah.
That said, I'm not putting it on the vendors.
There, though?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think like the vendor part's interesting for me because, so from what I understand, the pricing at this particular event is significantly cheaper than, say, even Hobby Hangout and the other one, which was, what was it called? Collect Fest.
Collect Fest.
Yeah. So allegedly it could be up to 3 times cheaper. So I think that could then also attract people who may not be, and I'm saying this in the kindest way possible, they might not be professionals, so they're more kind of like, do you know what I mean? Like people who are kind of like doing it as a hobby, might not be as well, machined.
I completely get that. And there are vendors that were down the other end of the venue, not the entry point.
And I like those vendors too, man. I think there's something good about that, and I think that's a really
once again, it's a balance. It's a learning experience from the vendors. Yeah. My gripe this weekend wasn't with the vendors. Look, they could organise their tables a bit differently, sure.
Of course.
But it was the patrons. I think, not all of them, but there were a lot of people that were not mindful of those around them, and there was a lot of not conflict. It was just it left a bad taste in my mouth early on when it was really busy on the Saturday.
Yeah,
and I felt like, and cool. I'll joke around and say bustle. I feel like a grumpy old man saying it, but there are a lot of people that were rude and disrespectful at the venue, and it was like, I don't know if it's a lack of social etiquette. It's a lack of social understanding. It's the fact that I'm older and grew up in a different time.
I think it's FOMO. I think it's people in a very enclosed space. Yeah.
But for me, it was like, why is there a need to be rude and hustle and bustle? And what gives you the right to make other people's experience less pleasant? And that's my biggest, that's the thing that that stuck with me for the weekend. Right. And I think I was impacted by that because obviously everyone's like, geez, you're grumpy. I'm like, I wasn't. By the end of Saturday, I was feeling a lot better. I think after 2:00, because I think we spent 2 or 3 hours there, and then my partner had to go home to the children. I came back to the venue, very
I think compact. That lunchtime is often like the peak, though, isn't it?
It was still pretty busy, but as the day progressed and pitted out, the crowds dissipated to a point where I finally got to see cabinets. Mm-hmm. I finally got to actually interact at some stands and buy a couple of cards. So it was not the most pleasant start to the day. I'm not saying it was poorly organised. Maybe the sellout, maybe some adjustments could have been made after sellout. I've heard some amazing thoughts and rumours about expansion of this venue, and I'd like to hear what's happening next year because I like the show and I think this is a fantastic event.
I think I would probably say me talking to people was people were just very complimentary about. They're saying like, the action was good, like in terms of, getting deals done. And also too, I feel like in other years gone by, it's been like, oh, this year everybody just wanted to sell, no one was buying, or
It was
everyone was
two-way.
buying.
There was a bit of two-way.
Whereas this way, you're talking to vendors and they're like,
Yeah,
I've
we're
sold
finally-
heaps of stuff, but I also bought heaps of stuff, and
Yeah.
I think that's a really interesting.
It's
and
a
I
shift.
think we're gonna talk more about this like later on in the show in terms of like market moving.
Yeah.
But I think that's a really interesting one. And, we're going to talk about hobby health later on. I think now's a really good time to slide this into. It's like, that was probably my impression today of like, I've always felt like the hobby has been pretty good in Australia. But when you see stuff like that and you sort of hear those, like, a number of people saying, like, I've had a really good day. Like, and I had a better day yesterday and today was good, but yesterday was better. But, I'm like, okay, maybe, things are actually looking pretty good at the moment.
Yeah.
So
as I said, like overall, over the 2 days, today was fantastic.
Yeah. I actually had a very enjoyable
there was
day too.
no point where
I left the event feeling very happy today. That was my experience. Yeah.
There are a couple of points through the day where I was just like, I don't think vendor tables with multiple binders to go through is conducive to a big card show. Because I'm like, well, I want to look through a binder. You don't get to stand there because people are trying to do deals over the top of them. It was a very uncomfortable space for me.
Yeah. Sure.
And I just, maybe the big shows aren't the space for it. Is
so
my observation.
If they don't have binders and they don't have boxes, what in your mind, where would they? What
it's display cabinets. Maybe the singles boxes are the thing, but I think it's got to be a minor part to understand traffic flow in a big sold out show.
Yeah,
I feel like it's hard to just stop and look through a whole set of 8 binders or something. I just wanted to look at 1 or 2 binders to see what wares people had, and it was because I was trying. My goal this weekend was to learn a bit about Pokemon.
Yeah,
like it's taken over the world. It's been here for a while now, but it's this tidal wave, and I wanted to get a deeper understanding. I wanted to talk to people. No one wanted to talk. Everyone. This is patrons wanted to just barge in and get in first. I'm like, I just want to look at cards. I wanted to buy a couple of small things to get me started. I wanted some advice from collectors. I mean, don't get me wrong, there were a lot of very nice people that I met through the weekend, but there were just a lot of abrasive people that I felt I haven't experienced that from the sports collectors.
Okay. So you're blaming these evil Pokemon people coming in and...
Well, I'm blaming people that probably aren't used to huge shows like this.
Yeah.
I think it's an environment that they're not commonly used to, and I think that the shows that they attend to or the stores that they normally frequent are different.
Mm.
And the idea of a trade, the big show, a card show, is different to what they're used to. And I'm obviously used to this, and I'm expecting a certain level of etiquette, and I don't think that was followed. That's where my nose got out of joint, and it is what it is. On the positive side,
just 1 second, just for vendors who do have boxes and binders, I love them. So yes, Adams doesn't think it's great, but I'm very.
That's the thing. I love them. I just don't like it when there are 6,000 people and there's 100 people trying to look at one binder.
Yeah, the logistics is difficult, and I experienced that too, by the way. But at the same time, this is something I just quite. There's something.
And normally I would have a solution.
For me. Yeah.
Normally I would have a solution. My recommendation is shows like this. Use it for your cabinets, your displays, and use it as a driver to drive people to where you sell.
Yeah.
Virtual binders, websites, etc. If you're local, drag them to your local store. Because one thing Cherry didn't have, it's the wall of dollar boxes to go through, because that's at their store.
Mm-mm.
And that's what I mean. It was. I know there's a time and a place. I felt like with thousands of people there, and wall to wall people, it was very difficult, and that's not a bad thing, not a good thing. I was affected I felt a negative impact, and normally I do have a solution for how you'd have it. I don't know if you section it off differently, if there's etiquette rules that are displayed. I don't know, but
And that might be part of their evolution too. Because
Yeah.
this is my understanding. This is the second year of them doing a show. Let's
True.
just rewind back the clock a little bit. Remember when Hobby Hangout was in that quite small venue, and I think
Oh
they
yeah, and I complained
they
non-stop
outgrew
for that day. Yeah, I
they
said, yeah,
outgrew that venue, right? So, and maybe this is what at the end of the day, maybe this is all we're talking about. The reality
outgrowing
is
and
the Oz
evolution.
National has become so popular, they've essentially outgrown that venue as a single
Excellent.
floor thing. So maybe next year it becomes a
100%.
floor or a 3 floor event. Yeah. Let's
100%.
start to round this off, Ad. Let's finish off with some positive things. Talk to me about things that you actually enjoyed while you were there, and maybe even you're gonna fondly recollect about this in a week once the bad taste is out of your mouth.
Well, look, as I said, it was only the first half of Saturday that left a bad taste. The second half of Saturday was fantastic. I went home, watched the football. I wasn't upset with the result because I don't barrack for Collingwood. I picked up at the show.
Yeah, what'd you get, man?
So the first card I saw was I saw a little group that was selling some movie cards from Topps, and I saw a Lord of the Rings lot of on-card autos.
Okay.
So I picked up an Andy Serkis autograph on a Gollum, which I thought was pretty cool. Bit different. Iconic character.
A precious card.
Very precious. Very precious indeed. So that was my sort of pop culture purchase. Over the 2 days, I'm not going to say which days I bought what, I have acquired a bunch of Slowpokes and Psyducks, which are Pokemon cards. I got Misty, Psyduck. I've got...
Apparently that's Bill Cosby's favorite Pokemon.
Thanks. I'm going to have to change Pokemon now. I've got a tag team Psyduck and Slowpoke, which was kind of cool. Just a few Slowbros that I thought were interesting, and a couple of Gyarados. It was just like, I just wanted to buy a couple of cards that I like the look of, and a Pikachu, of course, because who doesn't love Pikachu? I also went and saw our friend Darren at the Melbourne Cartel.
Yep, shout out to Darren.
He had his just his normal repacks out, which I bought one of those, and that was there. And I was lucky enough to pull the Austin Reeves number to 25 auto.
Not bad for a Lakers fan.
Yes, very very much so. So that was a lot of fun. I then got a couple of the El Chapos, the new repacks that he's come out with, and I got the License to Dominate Paolo Banchero numbered? No, I don't know. Not numbered, but it's PSA 10, which is one of the hits. I also got a Derek Lively Signature Choice Rookie auto.
I don't mind Lively.
Lively's all right.
Yeah.
Nice little card. Not a color match, it's a red card. So, traded off a Kobe as part of a deal. And then I acquired a number to 25 purple Magic Johnson on-card auto, which is lovely. Got rid of a couple of Randalls, a few Kobe's, and including a PSA 7. I then went and secured myself a 1999 Skybox Kobe Bryant EX, not numbered, sorry, but PSA 9. So a bit of an upgrade there. And last but not least, I got a status symbols to 125 Scottie Pippen.
I think you might need to do a post on this week.
I will.
In terms of the pictures and the, I think
I'll
it'll
take
some better.
I'll take some photos. I'll do a video.
Then people can look at your
my
post
haul.
with the audio.
That's it. They can. Well, if they're on YouTube, and you can go back and watch this on YouTube. Don't worry.
That's true.
You can see it live when I'm faffing around trying to show cards to the screen. But yeah, I'm into Pokemon now, which is to the dismay of some people. But you know, I'm in. I learnt a lot about Pokemon today, and I tell you what, shout out to the vendors that were willing to just have a chat and explain it to me. Yeah. I wasn't there to spend big dollars, but I was there to understand, and I thought they're going to be such a big part. They've become such a big part of our hobby. I really just wanted some clarification and understanding. So, yeah, it was a good day. I had a great day and a half, and it was a bad start to it. But yeah, next time I'm sure the venue will be ready. Food and drink options would be nice, but anyway.
Yeah, the food and drink was weird, wasn't it? It was like one shop.
Yeah.
One guy making coffee. I felt bad for that guy. He was working as hard as he could, but jeez. He was under the pump.
But look, Yeah, it's all feedback, all positive. Like I think it's the hobby's in a really good spot.
Yeah.
And now I've gone for my full quota of 15 minutes plus the 5-minute intro.
It's all good.
So
Fast Break Trading Cards, thank you so much for your love and ongoing support. We appreciate you immensely. Go to fastbreaktradingcards.com. There you'll find all sorts of things: sports trading cards, Fanatics authentic memorabilia, grading, pre-order. They also do Fanatics Collect consignment gift cards. Go to 75 Tulip Street in Cheltenham, Thursday and Friday, 12 till 6, Saturday, 9 till 5, Sunday, 10 till 4. Give them a call. You can also do that. Now, this week on the menu, new releases this week is 25-26 Topps Premier League, which is also the same release date as FC 26. So for you soccer heads and FIFA addicts, you could put a little bit of Topps Premier League Chrome alongside that. Thank you guys for your ongoing love and support. We really appreciate it. Adam, we're back. How you doing, buddy?
I'm good.
Have you taken a couple of deep breaths? You were looking a little bit red in the face before.
Oh, look, I'm reliving some of the trauma and elation from the last couple of days. Has been tough.
Alrighty. So this next segment, bear with me. This is what I had in mind of what we would do. We would talk about classic cards, like these are the obvious classics. And then next week, we'll talk about modern classics. So these are cards that might not have gone up in value yet, or you look at the picture and you go, oh, that deserves to be in the conversation as a classic card.
Okay.
And then what I thought we'd do is, each week as we're building the podcast, we will say, oh, this card could be a modern classic. So then we'll add it to the post that we're building up. And sort of after a period of time, we might have 10 or 15 cards that's sitting in this post with, the classic card sort of thing. So
or 20, who knows?
This is my idea around it. Very quickly, when I did put this up onto Instagram, almost someone straight away commented that Adam Gray just recently did something very similar to this. I actually didn't see that. I couldn't even find it on his post. But look, Adam Gray, if you are listening, which I'm sure that you're absolutely not, I do apologize if I'm doing some type of copy here unknowingly, but hopefully we can do our own spin on this. So I've just brought up a few different ones of what we can talk about. Mm-hmm. So if you go to Instagram,
Instagram, okay, yeah.
The one that says Russell's Picks in the post.
Oh, okay, yeah, Russell's Picks, yep. Got it.
We can talk about those ones, and then also too, I've got the nice little list here. All right, so this is not in any particular order. These are just some cards that I wanted to talk about. Now, the first one in the list I've actually labeled as Innovation Downtown, but it is actually a Innovation Kaboom. I chose the 13-14 Kaboom because I think ultimately it's the original
I don't think
one.
it's in order then.
Oh, no, it's
the
not
Instagram
in order.
post?
But the list is in the
okay. Yeah. I'm like, no, the Instagram post is definitely... I'm looking at the LeBron tribute dunk, but anyway.
It's all good. It's all good. And I'll just put a footnote in just so we can edit that out. 24 minutes 40. 24 minutes 50. All right. Sorry, mate. I wasn't very good at explaining that to you. So we're looking at the Kobe Bryant, and then it'll be the Beam Team, then the Jambalaya, then the Kobe LeBron, the Kaboom. You with me now?
Yep. I've got the list. I'm trying to play along. I've got it. Good. Innovation Downtown. All right. I've got the card ladder.
Alrighty. Yeah. So we got this Kobe Bryant here. And look, to be honest, yes, of course, the Kobe Bryant is an amazing card.
Do you know what? That card was in the window at Cherry.
I think they're asking $40K for it. That was true. My recollection.
Yes.
However, what I would also point out too, if you buy anything from this 2013 innovation set, like if you get the Anthony Davis, which is currently trading at $900, I think that's a fantastic purchase too. So, yeah, I think these are absolutely iconic cards. Let's just start off with that. The next one is the Beam Team.
Mm-hmm.
I think in terms of sets that you're like, what are the ones we're going to look back on, very fondly. Again, I put the Jordan up here because, it's Michael Jordan. But again, at the same time, I don't think you have to buy the Michael Jordan to get in on it. The Clyde Drexler
I got a Pippen.
1992 Stadium Club is $62. I also would say, that's going to be a pretty good buy moving forward.
Yeah.
So,
Beam teams have been, there's a Shaq beam team. There's
Yeah.
plenty of beam teams, yeah.
There's sort of two ways you can look at this. You can say, look, I don't want to get the low-end ones. Or you can say, actually, the low-end ones are a good buy because it's in a classic set, and moving forward, these ones are going to be great. Alrighty, next in the list here, we've got the Jambalaya. Look, I was really torn on. This to me, was kind of like the hardest one for me to put into it. But ultimately,
I'm intrigued why, that it was hard to put in. Why? What do you mean?
Well, I almost just felt like this was a little bit
old,
almost cliche, because how can I say this? I actually feel like these are overpriced for what they are. And if any of the cards from this list you might go backwards on, I could be really wrong about this. I just feel like this is, for me, is like the risk out of all of these. This for me is like the highest risk one. Also, too, I think it's a little bit cliche just for the fact that, like, I think everybody that you talk to, if you ask them what is, a classic card, Jambalaya would probably be in their like top 1 or top 2. Something
interesting.
Like that. So I think that was also that sort of part of my head too. Like, it just sort of felt like a little bit too obvious.
Okay.
So the Jordan PSA 10 is currently now trading at $123,000, which is, like, I think for me, once they get more than that sort of $100,000 mark,
okay, yeah,
I find them also like just completely out of reach. Like, so let's just use the Shaq one as an example. We'll call this like a lower end one that's still trading for $4,500 USD. So, look, maybe I need to rethink about this. Maybe actually the one that's out of my reach is the Jordan, but the rest of them I could stomach, or I could, look into. Maybe I need to think about this a little bit more.
Interesting. I've one that's not on the list. So,
great. You want to chuck it in now?
Scoring Kings.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
I just thought, as soon as you said classic cards,
this
Scoring
is absolutely
Kings,
not a complete list. Yeah. So
Scoring Kings is just one that but we can add to it later. That's fine.
Absolutely. Do you have any particular Scoring Kings that's your favorite?
I love the Jordan one's great. I think they're all actually
obvious one, isn't
beautiful. Yeah, I think they're actually all beautiful cards. So the Jordan's iconic.
Yeah,
but yeah, definitely.
So just really quickly, the PSA 10 Scoring Kings last sold for 23,400. Population.
Yeah, it's one of those cuts.
Population on that is 97. The Jambalaya, $123,000 that sold for.
Wow.
PSA 10. The population on that is 17. So
really,
I mean, on that metric, it's not outrageous, really, is it? When you say it like that.
No.
All right. This next card is actually a card. It's not a set. So sometimes I'm going to pick sets. Sometimes I'm going to choose very specific cards. This is the 2008 Topps Chrome Kobe Bryant. This is the card where it's the horizontal card, and he's being defended quite closely by LeBron. So I think for me, why is this a classic card? I quite like the artwork on it. I quite like it that it's a horizontal card instead of a vertical, despite my actual preference for vertical cards. I also think too, the photography on this card is just captured perfectly. Like, even, I don't want to go into this like sort of too much, but just the focus on the card, how the background is all blurred out, but you can clearly see it's like people in the crowd. Like that type of thing to me. Like, for example, I could put that up as a picture on my wall, and I think that would be just like a fantastic piece of photography. So it's like all of that put in together. So for me, this particular card, I went through and looked at them all. So I've looked at the base. PSA 10, that sold for 1,400. The raw card, that sold for 226. I looked at the BGS 9.5. That sold for 329. Like, honestly, I'm looking at all of these, and there's nothing on here that makes me go, like, that's absolutely horrible. Stay away from this. You should be worried about it. I just genuinely feel like this is one of these cards where you buy it and you just put it away, and it is genuinely a classic card. the thing I would actually pitch about this card, and I want to talk to you about this a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, actually, is this one of the cards that's a genuinely a top 10 card maybe ever? And is this going to start to move into that like Jordan-esque mode where it doesn't matter what type, like whether it's BGS, PSA, you've got the refractor, you've got base, just like every other Jordan card, it's just going to slowly trickle up over time. That's my question to you about this card. Yeah.
I think does this come under? Yeah, it probably is a classic card, but there's.
You can call this a modern classic, or you could
say
yeah.
I feel like it's that post 2000.
And that's fine. This might be like our number one modern classic, and I'm totally fine with that. But like for me, like my preference, I just think this is just an all timer for me. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I like it. I like the card quite a lot. There are probably others that I would be more in the classic stream.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is definitely one of those that sort of catches the eye in that say.
Alrighty, I think I made a mistake in my list here when I was putting this together because I wanted to have like one downtown and one kaboom, but I think I've gone 2 kabooms. That's fine. I'll wear the mistake. 2018 kaboom. I went through that checklist. I think any of these that you buy in it, not at any price. I think as long as you're doing your homework, you're not getting like 20% over comps or something like that.
Yeah.
And I also wanted to do this list too a little bit like, yes, some of this is crazy high end and some of this is like low end. So this is Dennis Smith Jr. This last sold for $100 USD.
Yeah.
That sold for Raw. Again, I think this is going to be one of those cards. We were talking about this a little bit at the card show today.
Earlier, yeah.
It's like a PMG. It could be Sean Elliott. It could be Cedric Zabalos. It's not going to matter in 10 or 20 years' time. I think these cards are, going to be like that. And I think
this is literally the definition of a modern classic is the kaboom, right?
That's fine, yeah. And that's fine. This might be a modern classic. I wanted to put in at least one Prism card because I think at the end of the day, Prism is king.
Yeah.
The design that I chose was the 2015 Prism card.
Interesting choice, yeah.
The example that I used was the Nikola Jokic. I like this because there's no actual border on the card. It's kind of like built into the design, and there's something about that I think is very... And there's some symmetry on the card. There's some kind of like cool shapes that they've put into the background where it could be maybe a pyramid, it could be a triangle, it could be a square. Look, I just like the whole thing. It's interesting enough, but it's also plain enough. Like sometimes for me, I just want a good plain card, and I think for me, this ticks off just so many boxes for that. So I'm going to go with this. I don't really want to talk about Nikola Jokic in particular.
I'm not.
Yeah. Should we go for a break and then we can come back and we can do like some of like my picks?
Let's do it.
Cool. US Sports Cards Australia, thank you so much for your ongoing love and support and sponsorship, of course. Go to ussportscardsaustralia.com.au. There you'll find Ross's labors of love here: sports breaks, singles, collectible protection, hobby boxes, sports memorabilia, and toys. We can't not talk about Ross's pet project, which is Check Out My Cards Australia. Click on the 3 little noodles, click on Check Out My Cards Australia. There you'll have your seller login, your submission form, and also the ComCA policy. The most important thing to point out here is that when you do your submission form, send all of your cards in bulk to Ross. He will list them, sell them, post them out to people, give you your cash. On the submission form, right, you can't comp this for your free submission. It'll all be taken care of for you. Thank you so much to Ross and Team US Sports Cards Australia. Adam, we're back.
We're back.
Part 3 of this week's show is my picks. Now, I'm just going to whip through this in 2 minutes, okay?
Yep.
Modern classic for me, the LeBron James, Kobe Bryant tribute dunk. Kareem or Lou Alcindor rookie card, where it was that super skinny card. I just love this card. This for me is like, oh, here we go. Here's the downtown that I didn't put into the list before. I chose the studio year. I think for me, again, this particular year is just so nostalgic.
Yeah.
I loved the artwork in it. And really interesting, I feel like even the artwork stands up today. You know, sometimes when you look
Mm.
back at art sets, you're like, oh, you can see the foundation of it and they've progressed it and they've improved it every year. No, the storytelling, the graphics in this is just
Hmm.
fantastic already. The Gaboom, I've already spoken about. The Beam Team, we've covered. This one is probably like, you might quite appreciate this one. This is the Larry Bird, Dr. J, Magic Johnson,
My favorite.
triple rookie card for Larry Bird, Magic Johnson,
The one that I
Kobe
don't that, that,
LeBron.
that I don't think is a rookie card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to put in Jordan's Fleer card. I didn't think we needed to talk about that just for the fact that, you know, does it really need to be said? This is an absolute classic card in this one here. Jambalaya. Great. So that's all of them. We've captured them all here. We did have a couple of Facebook comments. I just want to really quickly get to this. George Giolaris, thank you so much, mate, for commenting. He's put in Flawless and Upper Deck Exquisite. And if he had to pick one, he said Upper Deck 2003 Exquisite is his favorite cards. Yeah, look, I think out of those sets, the Exquisite cards have actually produced some absolute bangers, haven't they? So the cards that's coming to my mind is like the patch autographs from Jordan, the LeBron rookie patch autographs that all came out of Exquisite. You know, that stuff was like today's Flawless or, you know, really good national treasures, that type of stuff. Ryan Miller, did you vote in Adam Gray's The Real Guy 25 25? No, I didn't. The results from that and the 80-ish card shortlist is pretty much the answer to this question. Yeah, I couldn't even find it online.
Yeah.
So I probably need to chase that up. What cards else do you want to talk about as we round out this and we move on to the next topic?
Look, I think you've hit all the big ones to sort of start with. I think as we go, like through the 90s, there were a lot. I mean, I touched on Scoring Kings. I remember sets that had different ones. I remember center stage. Actually, Scotty James today at the show saw the Michael Jordan center stage. And that was one of those, I don't know if it's because it's a Jordan, but I remember like the Shaq center stage.
Yeah.
But it's one of those, I don't know, some of those iconic insert sets, they're the lower end stuff. I mean, obviously we go to the higher end, the kabooms, the downtowns that we're experiencing at the moment.
Sure.
I guess from my side of things, I just want to, I'm really looking forward to seeing, and this is not blowing smoke up our friends at Tops or Fanatics, but I'm looking forward to what they bring in the coming years. Because I think we've got our modern classics from Panini. I think we had a few things from Upper Deck. There wasn't a lot. But the Panini era brought us some really nice case hits.
As much as people have complained about Panini, they took over something that no one even wanted to touch on.
Yep.
Created some amazing cards.
Yeah.
Created some amazing artwork. And yeah, have really built up a product line that actually I think is going to be quite hard for Tops to fit into. I was actually talking to someone about this today, so I'll do this really quickly before we go into a massive tangent. I don't think people realize how much product Panini are making at the moment.
Yeah.
And I'm actually worried that if Tops can't fill that vacuum, prices, like we're talking about prices being high now.
Yeah.
Like what if product doubles in the next couple of years? Like if scarcity becomes a thing, like, you know, why wouldn't the after sales drive the market crazy? And actually, this is the perfect segue into our next topic. So our next topic is basically just the current index. I wanted to talk to you about this. I got here just basically hobby news. Let's just
call it hobby. Yeah.
Through this, yeah. So if you go to Card Ladder, indexes, and basketball, look at stats, and you look at the all-time graph. If you just click that link there, and you'll bring it up.
I was doing it manually.
Current index. Yeah. So if you're at home, you can follow those instructions though. So look, let's just keep this really simple because I'm not a maths wizard, but the peak, which was 23,735, is during COVID. Then we went through this period where things obviously went down,
The
and
dip.
we all
That was the dip.
felt that. We've been through it. There were some good times, there were some bad times. We are now almost halfway back up that mountain. So, and I think
Yeah.
that's a really interesting. So let's just tie up that piece of information to back what we saw the last couple of days at the Hobby Hangout. People saying they sold out all their inventory. They were buying and they were selling. And I
Yeah.
really feel like this graph here actually really rings true to me about what's happening in the hobby at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Current indexes, this is from, Market Movers. This is from Skybox CT. Shaquille O'Neal up 12%, Kobe Bryant up 10%. I agree with that. Scottie Pippen, your boy, up 9%. John Stockton up 8.5%. I would put that directly to him being in Kendrick Lamar's song. Hakeem Olajuwon up 7%. That's good for my PC. Cooper Flag down 20%. That's super interesting to me because we haven't really seen him in any product yet. So is that the university crash before the pro stuff comes out? That makes sense. Caitlin Clark down 7%. We spoke about that last week already. We knew that. Devin Booker down 7%. I can't explain that. What's your thought on Devin Booker being down?
Have you seen what's been happening to the Phoenix Suns?
Yeah, but like that's not directly related to Book, is it?
Well, it's the team he leads. He's the only player on that team at the moment, really. Look, I think their future's in a bit of jeopardy. I don't know. Maybe people have gone cold on Booker. I don't know if the hobby itself was ever really hot on Booker.
Yeah.
But yeah.
This is from Sports Cards Nonsense, the top 5 highest grossing platforms for cards and sealed wax in August. eBay at 300 million, Fanatics at 37, Heritage at 33, Golden's auction at 14. So what I take away from this is almost like for me, PSA at the top.
Yep.
And then everyone else like just taking the crumbs at the bottom after that. I would say what's probably interesting to me is that Fanatics are now second on the ladder. I think that's a really interesting one. And I think the Heritage one is also interesting too in the fact that they've beat Golden's by almost double. Because in my mind, like,
yeah,
Golden's is always, in the news, they're on social media, they've got their own TV show, but actually they're only doing half of that. So that's an interesting one. But eBay is clearly the industry leader in this space. And
100%.
yeah.
100%.
Calendar releases for basketball cards. This is from Beckett. I'm not going to go through every single release. However, what I am going to really quickly just talk to you about is what we are expecting in September and October for basketball. It's wild. Panini 1-and-1 basketball. Then going down to here, Immaculate on the 24th of September. Obviously, that's basketball too. Topps Royalty basketball on the 25th.
Yep.
Flawless on the 26th.
Yep.
Going into October, we've got Panini Black basketball, which I really hate that product. I don't understand why we need that product. Then we keep going down here. Donruss WNBA on the 16th. Impeccable WNBA in November the 6th. Eminence basketball on the 28th of November. And I actually thought that the license was gone in October, so I'm a little bit surprised to see basketball coming out like down this far the line, but it's still there. And then after that, there's nothing more. So it's all going to be Topps after that. I think Eminence is the last one, and then that's it. So
wow. So wait. So November. So wait a second. So that it's next year that we get basketball from Topps. Surely not.
No, November this year.
Okay.
November 25. Yeah.
Okay.
No, but I thought October they were going to be doing it last. So it seems to me like they've almost been given another month's grace on that. I'm going to jump around in the run sheet a little bit. This is the perfect time to link this in. Flawless Photo sold out for $40,000 per case. This story, Less Sports, and I think they raised a really good point. It's like, how much are these breaks going to be costing if the base cost of a box is 60,000 Australian dollars a box? Like, that to me, like, really hurts my brain. And I think also too, I find that a little bit surprising. because like that is an extreme amount of money, and realistically, what are you going to get out of it to get your 60K back?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, true.
And if they look, let's just say he's telling the truth. Like, it's not like Blaise is God and everything he says is gospel. Like, I don't think that. But let's just
No, of
say,
course not.
let's just say some of this is true and some of it's not true. Okay, so let's just say some of the boxes even sold for 20K, right? And he doesn't know about it or whatever.
Sure.
But even still, that's still like 30 grand Aussie. Like, again, what are you getting out of these boxes? It's going to, like, break even on
What is going to...
Yeah. So I find that like quite interesting. The other thing I find quite interesting about that is because the Dutch auctions is direct to the public. So it's like there's no middleman, there's no distributors. You're bidding and buying off Panini, and Panini distribute it out to you. So I wonder, like, the fallout of this is actually Fanatics is seeing this, and they're like, right, we can charge $50,000 for a high-end box, and not even blink on this.
Yeah.
50,000 Aussie, right?
Yep.
Or we can charge 40,000 Aussie. We still look like the good guys. We're still charging, $10,000 or $20,000 less, and we come back. Like, I'm a little bit lost for words on this, to be honest. Like, where are you at with this, man?
I feel like there's a group. We'll call it a group. There's some serious money in this hobby right now.
Yeah, there's tears in this hobby, isn't there? And I think this is an
and there are some serious players in the hobby.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's one of those things where it's like, this is that club.
Yeah.
It's the I
These
don't know.
are the high rollers, the VIPs.
Correct.
Yeah.
I don't know if we've got people joining forces to buy into these things together, but maybe it's just a dinner party thing. Everybody's saying that sports cards are the new thing to do, so let's grab a case for dinner, for a dinner party, or a poker night. What are we going to do? We're going to have a break 2 hours in, and we're going to bust a case of cards. Like, I can't fathom life in that world, but that would be cool, hey?
It's interesting. In the comments, like, people are saying, oh, the breakers are ruining this hobby. And I think there is some truth to that. I also wonder too, I could be very wrong about this, but I wonder if people are buying this to put away, because Flawless is a product that doesn't come with redemptions. There's no hold on the product in terms of that at all. So, you're not worried about getting points. You're not worried about getting this and that. Like, the product is a finished product. If it is going to be the last Panini product, and also too, they're going to load it to the hilt. So we've already seen that with Silhouette.
So
right?
it's the
So Silhouette was his product that essentially they've just loaded that to the absolute eyeballs. Are they going to do the same thing with Flawless?
Yeah.
Eminence. What's Eminence going to look like this year? Is that going to be just
for sure?
Yeah. So
I think the end it's going to go out with a bang, right?
Yeah.
Surely Panini. I wonder if they've got anything, because we were talking about it today at the show. Do Panini have any sheets of Kobe stickers?
I believe
that?
they don't. I don't think they do, because there was a lot of people that had unfilled redemptions.
Yeah, fair.
And then to fill those, they created that Mamba mosaic set. Remember that?
Oh, yeah, true.
They sent out those packets to people instead of Kobe autos. And there was a lot of people that went very backwards on that.
Yep, fair. It's a very, very astute observation.
Not backwards, very backwards. They lost a lot of money. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. I want to do the rookie autographs, but let's take a break and we'll come back and we can just sort of like
wrap it up
and go through that. Yeah.
Let's do that.
All right. And we're back. How are you, buddy? Are you ready for the last one?
I am ready for the last set. Let's do this thing.
So again, I'm not the greatest maths man, but at the moment we only have 2 sponsors. We will be having a third sponsor, if I get my act together, maybe next week.
It'll happen.
I think I can announce this now. Neon Trading Cards are going to come on and sponsor us. This is something that's very much been a long time in the making for us. So
nice.
We're very happy that we've come to an agreement with those guys, and we're looking forward to working with them. So we feel like they complement our two other sponsors in that they're slightly in different
Wheelhouses.
areas of the hobby.
Yep.
So no one's stepping on each other's toes. I really
Which
like
I think,
that. I think this is
that's
going to be
what we want. Yep.
a good collab for us. All right. Now, this next story, this could go really badly or it could go really well. But I sat there and I went through. So if you go online to Panini America, you can go onto their shop and buy Panini instant cards. And they've got some rookies from this year's class in that. So I thought what would be interesting was I would create a list of every single athlete that is on that page.
Yep.
And I would then go through and summarize the names and also what draft pick that they were. I'm not going to sit here and read every single one out to you, but I will definitely point out to you.
I'm trying to share the screen, but I think it paints a pretty glaring picture.
Yeah. So there's 20 athletes in total. Most of them are second round picks. There are some first round picks in there. There's also an undrafted gentleman by the name of Dink, excuse my pronunciation, Pate, P-A-T-E.
Yep.
Could be Pate, but I'm
Dink Pate.
not sure. Yeah, could be that. I think the people of note who did sign is Jeremiah Fears, pick number 7.
Mm-hmm.
Nick Clifford at pick 24.
Yep.
Derek Queen at pick 13.
Yep.
And I think the most notable of all of them is VJ Edgecombe at pick number 3.
Yeah, for sure, sure.
I think in terms of instant impact, you could buy him because you might make an argument if Philadelphia are okay this year, they could have a deep playoff run. However, I know Embiid's knees apparently are really bad, so let's not hold our breath too much there. I'm not going to get overexcited like I did last year. Now, really interesting though, the VJ Edgecombe autograph numbered to 10 is selling for $350 on the Panini Instant website. So I'm putting this to you. Would you buy, hold, or sell that at $350?
What's the card? It's an auto.
VJ Edgecombe Panini Instant autograph. Look, let's just assume we're being paninied and it's going to be a sticker.
Yeah, true.
Numbered to 10.
Number to 10?
Yeah.
I'll buy at that price.
Because I don't think there's going to be any rookie. So this is the play on this. Why you should buy instant cards. I don't think they're going to come out in any official NBA products.
Well, I was going to say because Topps won't have the license to.
Yeah. So this is the genuine sort of like crossover period.
Do you remember last year with the Nautograph? The autos? This is the reverse of that, right? So Topps don't have the rights to these autos.
Yeah. Maybe though, look, I'm going to assume that Panini's still going to be making cards in some fashion. So there might be an unlicensed VJ Edgecombe, and he's going to be the centerpiece of their product, next year. Like, who knows? And that very well could be the truth. Yeah. I think what I'm just, talking about here is, and the reason I also bring this up a little bit is because I think the instant stuff that Topps has done so far has been like 10 out of 10. So,
for sure.
Yes, Panini have always done it, but maybe now that Topps are doing it, people actually might take a bit more attention to these spaces and go, actually, look, there's a couple of prospects on here that, actually worth looking at. There's just 2 more I'll really quickly mention. Trey Johnson III at pick 6 and Igor Demon at pick 8. So, there's not like nobody's here. You actually go on here, and also Nolan Traore at 19. So, like I said, I won't read the whole 20 through the 20 list. Final thoughts on this ad. What's your takeaway from this?
It's an interesting one. It's a bit of a niche, but it's part of that whole overlap.
It's very niche.
Yeah. It's part of that whole overlap, but maybe there's an opportunity in there. If VJ Edgecombe is
pick 3
is a star, then
you don't have to gamble on packs. You don't have to gamble on boxes.
Just
you have to gamble
flat
on
out
breaks.
bang,
like,
take the card.
Here's my card, bang. Like there is something about that kind of appeals to me. It's
there is an element of taking a risk, but taking a calculated risk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's just do a bit of casual hobby conversation to round out today's show. Look, this one's a little bit of a long one, but I think what we can probably do is just summarize it really quickly. The regular season has ended. This is from Max Cook on WNBA Cards, Buy, Sell, and Trade. my thoughts on what to write about is that WNBA regular season's ended. I'm just going to pick out some of the highlights here. So Caitlin Clark peaked 1 week before the season started. Since then, her value has stayed low and kept falling, and she's now the biggest value dipper of the year.
Yep.
Over the season, her value has dropped 36%. Now, this was written on the 14th, so a week ago. So this is like within the window of her injury being announced. So, we can keep that in mind. I do see an increase in Sophie Cunningham. Her cards have jumped 80-ish%. Now, the Sophie Cunningham is a really interesting one in the fact that I think she was more of a social phenom than her play jumped up that much, and that's why her cards went up.
Yeah.
And I think there is that degree of whether sex sells, or there is that sort of, component to some of the WNBA stuff, but I don't see that as a massive deal.
True.
I'm excited for the playoffs and predicting the Aces win the championship. They are hot, and the team is playing well together. In my opinion, they are very well coached. The Dream has struggled in the last few weeks, and I'm predicting the Fever will upset the Dream in round 1. Kelsey Mitchell is on fire. The Dream doesn't have a good matchup for her. She'll dominate the 20-plus points per game. Where is the love for her hobby? Her biggest card in 30 days is Origins Auto at a 99 and a Rookie Hollow $35 and $110, really. So, again, I think that WNBA is also very similar in the NBA, that you can find pockets of value.
Agreed.
Yeah,
But
on players, yeah.
We just need to be mindful with the WNBA that the pool of collectors is smaller, and the pool of interest in the league is smaller than its counterpart in the NBA.
I think that is true.
There's a level of relevance there, so the cards, even though they're the same quality,
I think the
demand is lower.
to that is like the product has been out there for a little while, and I think that the popularity is increasing. So if you've already been in and you've been collecting it because you love it, you actually can now, like, the cards are actually becoming a little bit more liquid. And I think taking the Caitlin Clark thing out, my observation of the WNBA hobby the last few years is that there's just more people that are dabbling in it.
Sure.
And I see your point, and I actually don't disagree with it, but I also think too, it's becoming more of a thing. And I think if you're like a betting man or a betting person, you'd be like, actually, in the next 5 years, we're probably going to see another doubling in this. So I think that's where people...
I don't get me wrong. I think there's a following, but I'll use it of like, okay, NBA cards or NBL cards.
It's the exact same argument. It's the same thing. Like,
I'm like
WNBA.
I just thought I'd take the men's and women's aspect out of it and go. Let's look at the NBL.
I would actually pick WNBA cards over NBL cards. So
there
with
you
some
go.
Very small exceptions.
Yeah. But it's that smaller market, so it's not going to replicate exponentially anyway. So the Caitlin Clark stuff is sort of like an anomaly in that smaller market.
Oh, absolutely. No disagreement.
But I think it's fun when it's a smaller market because you can have some fun with it, and the product's not through the roof, and you're not overpaying for stuff. You sort of, it's a hobby. It's not the stock market.
Yeah. This next story is from Alt XYZ Official. This is about a 1-of-1 nebula of Azure Thompson. Azure being the Detroit Pistons gentleman. This card is up over $34,000 since November to become the most expensive Azure Thompson card of all time. All right. This is my prediction on this kid here. I think he is going to have he had a good year last year. I think he's going to have an absolutely banging year this year. I think with his growth, Cade Cunningham's growth, the Pistons' growth, I'm very, very excited in this Azure Thompson, Detroit Pistons, Cade Cunningham space. So
I was talking to someone today about it. I said, you know what? Given the teams that blew it up, Indiana and Boston might not even feature in like a home court series in the finals because
100%.
we're looking at
100%.
New York, Orlando, Cleveland, the Pistons, Atlanta. Like, it's nuts.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think this year's going to be really open. I think even in the West, there's going to be a bit of movement here. This next one, I kind of hope you know about this because this is a really weird niche NBA story. This is about Jeff Teague.
The NBA 2K one?
For some weird reason, people online in the NBA 2K game started doing this thing called Teague Time, which is a player that has no pants on or in the game see-through pants and wearing a Jeff Teague jersey, to the point that this has now overflowed from the game into his jersey sales, and it's one of the top selling jerseys currently in the league at the moment.
Where they're just wearing the Teague, in their jocks and the Teague jersey, that was apparently, but that was friends of Teague's that were doing it, wasn't it? Wasn't the story it was his brother or something, or
I got no idea.
Now it's become a thing. I just the internet is a scary place, isn't it? You tell me like the conspiracy theorists out there, like, correct me if I'm wrong, but people are like, oh, there are subliminal messages and mind control. If people are going out and buying a Jeff Teague jersey because there was a glitch in NBA 2K, people are cooked.
I'm looking at some of this dude's price at the moment. So his 2013 Logan patch autograph to 4, that sold for $1,349. 2012 Prism Panini Gold number to 10, that sold for $660 at PSA 9. I got to tell you, if these people are like out buying this stuff because of Teague Time on 2K, this stuff is wild. I got a lot of respect for Jeff Teague, so don't think I'm like talking smack about the guy. I don't think these cards are worth this for 1 second. Eminence Jeff Teague All-Star Jumbo Patch 1-of-1 game use, that sold for $300. Actually, I'm okay with that. That's actually a beautiful. I love Eminence. It's a beautiful
good value.
patch.
Good value. Yeah, for sure.
That's wild. All right. You Jeff Teagers out there, look, it's fun. The internet can be fun sometimes. This is a good example of the internet being fun. Yeah. This is just a bit of a froth card. This one here. This is a Magic Johnson Kareem dual autograph. This is actually from the Panini America website.
Mm-hmm. Showtime.
They both put custom autographs on it with Showtime. Do you know what would... Sorry. The story on this is the issue that Panini have got at the moment is they've got less rookie signing. So now they need to do more
vets,
imaginative things, or, different things with vets or people that are currently on their roster. So what they're currently getting them to do in the higher end products this year is they're going to be doing more custom.
Inscriptions and stuff to make custom cards.
So this is something that you're going to be seeing a lot more of. I like this.
I like that a lot.
I would have liked to have seen, say, Showtime by Magic, and then maybe like Hookshot by Kareem, something like that. Because I feel like Showtime. Yeah. Like, did you need it twice in the card? That's my only tiny criticism of that. Otherwise, I love this. I think this is double better than an autograph, if that makes sense. Like, this is...
Yeah.
It's just like having 2 autographs. I love this. Alrighty. Tim Duncan. I love Tim Duncan.
Bit of Timmy D, the old fundamental. Is that Flea Metal?
Yeah. This is from Card Ladder. Our friends at Card Ladder. 1997 metal Universe Champions card. Yep. Precious metal gem number to 50. PSA 8 on this. So, not particularly a high grade. Like, in these days standards, a PSA 8, no one wants a PSA 8. Pop 7 on this. It's sold for $35,400. I just about said $247,000. That's the market count.
Yeah. True. That's the market count.
I like this. I like this a lot.
I like it a lot. Yeah.
Tim Duncan is getting some hobby love in this space here. I do wonder how much of this is about the card versus the player per se. But
that's a good point. That's a good point.
It's still Tim Duncan. I'm just gonna love it for that.
Great.
EuroLeague starting 5 or All-Star 5, Dennis Schroeder, Luka Doncic, Şengün, Giannis, and Franz Wagner is our 5 guys here. I think that we've spoken about Luka and Giannis enough, so why don't we just really quickly check in on Wagner and the big
Franz
guy,
Wagner, Şengün,
really quickly on their pricing. I think that would be good.
We can do that. Can I just say very quickly?
Yes.
I'm backing the rest of the world for All-Star Weekend.
I can't wait for that, by the way. I think this is the best thing for basketball in a long time.
The rest of the world is winning the All-Star game.
Yeah, but at least they'll try.
They won't have to. Have you can see the lineups they can put out?
I just think they'll at least compete.
Oh, look, but You notice there's one European name that's not in that, right? And it's the best player in the world. Luka at the 1, Schroeder at the 2. I don't mind that lineup. Şengün's coming off the bench, though, because Jokic is starting.
Yeah, sure.
But that's crazy.
Yeah. All right. I picked out one Şengün card. It's his highest ever sold card. National Treasures rookie patch autograph Logoman. Mm-hmm. 1 of 1. That sold for $85,400. PSA 9 on the card and 10 on the autograph. So we're not talking about a small amount of money in this space. Let's talk about Franz Wagner. What have we got for this guy?
For Wagner?
Wagner's highest sold card is also his Logoman from National Treasures.
Okay.
Again, the 1 of 1. Mint 8 on the card. 10 on the autograph. I actually like the design better on the Wagner card, to be honest. That sold for $79,200. So
okay,
it's look between the two of them. I'll probably go with the Wagner. I really like that guy. I think he's got a lot of time for improvement. Yeah, I think he's got a lot of time to improve too.
Yeah.
All right. Our Jordan to finish. I think we're going to pretty much finish on time.
Jordan to finish. I thought there was one more on the run sheet.
All right, we can do that.
Go on.
Seconds.
We can do
Michael Malone.
Mike Malone
has been announced as a broadcaster for NBA Countdown. I am 12 out of 10 excited for this. I think he was done dirty by the Nuggets. He doesn't deserve to be out of the league. And to get somebody with absolute savant level knowledge and understanding of the game to be now commentating, giving us insights, I'm like, this is just, my house of church. So
yep.
As all the good things, there's always something. So all the bad things, something good comes out of it. This is like for me the good spot of it. All right, I put this in because I found this when I was doing the classic cards.
Yep.
This for me is not a classic card, but God, this is a beautiful looking image. I love this so much. It's almost like the micro mosaic. They've stolen from this. Yeah.
Yep.
So if
or it might have been inspired by this.
Yeah, 100%. I think you'll really like this card. This is the 1996 Flair Showcase, Michael Jordan from the Legacy Collection, 0, PSA 10. This is the only problem with this card. It sold for $137,000. So again, it's just way out of my
budget.
I just can't even imagine having a card like this.
Well, if you bought it for $3,638 back in 2012, it would have been
or
fine.
$560 in 2020, that would have even been better. Yeah.
Pretty crazy, hey?
Yeah. That's a nice little... Adam, thank you so much for coming on tonight. I'm glad that you weren't feeling too grumpy during the show today. I feel like you pepped up a little bit.
Oh, look, to be fair, as I said, there were elements that left a bit of bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah.
And there were some patrons. Obviously, it was just a crowd thing, and I'm like, yeah, well, maybe I'm just a grumpy old man now. And back in my day, we had manners, but whatever. Overall, I met some amazing people at the Oz National
100%.
And had some amazing conversations. So thank you to everybody
100%.
who was there. It was a fantastic show. I had a great time, and I'm looking forward to the next one.
Yeah, great.
Awesome.
Thanks everyone at home for listening. Thank you all for watching on the streams, clicking on us, saying thanks on social medias. We appreciate it. Thanks you all at Central Coast Radio.